Greetings, all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your time and your kindness for taking the time out of your precious day to share with me in this community on my YouTube channel. If you haven't taken a moment already, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share this with those who might be interested. And if you're interested in the membership level, 99 cents per month. Not a huge expense for some special content that I share from time to time for those who want to be members. It would be great to have you a part of the community. If you don't like it after a while, you're welcome to unsubscribe or take time away to stop the membership. So that's easy to do as well. So thank you. And now on with the show. So here's one of the first things I wanted to show you. This is a memorial bench of my brother's that we put out in 2007 after he passed away. And with all the floods out at the Yellowstone River, I asked a friend of mine to go check on the bench. And this bench, which is right at an area called Mallard's Rest, just south of Livingston, Montana, north of the Yellowstone National Park gates. This bench was put there. Apparently the floods didn't wash it away. We've been curious if it was going to get washed away well before that, but with these floods we were pretty sure. So apparently no. And I've had a lot of friends go there over the years and sit down on the bench and crack a beer or have a drink. My brother was a big fly fisherman, and one of these days I'll get back there to visit myself. So Jeffrey D. Pollard. He loved the Yellowstone, its peace and its simple beauty. I have far to go, but I have stopped for now to reconsider my direction. A fine man he was. All right, let's get to some of the comments that I wanted to go over with the viewers, and thank you for your many comments. First and foremost, this is relatively old news, but as many of you know, I changed the thumbnail on the Sandy Irvin Discovered video, and I changed it more to a question: was Sandy Irvin discovered? And I don't get any more clickbait replies anymore, fortunately. So I think I righted the ship. The number of downloads or views has gone down fairly significantly, but still I think that this video has a lot of weight and it's a good video to watch. But I wanted to share with you a couple of some humorous comments that I got. One of them is talk in circles for attention much, and I couldn't help but reply, and I deleted this right away. Troll videos much. Jerry, I do talk in circles sometime. These videos are my style, of course, and I'm not being defensive. I'm just saying my channel might not be for everybody. I'm not one that just goes purely on facts and figures. So a lot of my videos are interviews with, most of the time or many times, people that I've known for many years. And so in so doing, I speak with people who are friends of mine. So we have some conversations before we hone in on the topic of the day. So yeah, I do talk in circles, but not for attention. I have a YouTube channel, so I don't need to talk in circles for attention. I'm here anyway. So that was redundant, I guess. But here I am talking, hopefully not in circles. Okay, so the next comment: just because you did not find Irvin does not mean some elaborate conspiracy existed to remove him from the mountain. It means that you didn't find the guy and that he's still up there. Come on now. Well, honestly, the truth is that it might sound it might sound like a conspiracy, but it's not. And from several different sources, I've heard the story many different times about the body of Sandy Irvin having been encountered, seen, found before our 2019 expedition and leading up to our 1999 expedition as well. So there's some validity to that video, and I thought that the interview with Mark Sinnott shed some light on it. So it's not just to sell books, it's not just to sell his new paperback or anything like that. This is legit information that we're adding to the stockpile of other tidbits of information that will hopefully we'll look back on someday and see, wow, okay, this added to the knowledge base that helped us go and solve the mystery. So that's all. No biggie. And then Columbia Valley Media, which is that's a kind of a cool name. It sounds like a cable television provider or something like that. Nobody wanted the story because you can't verify your sources, and it's that simple. You have all these conveniently anonymous sources, and that makes the story sketchy and impossible to verify. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So Columbia Valley Media, the truth is that actually we can verify the sources, but the primary, the start of the pyramid of this story, it was a high-ranking British diplomat who worked in China for decades, and that gentleman has asked specifically to remain anonymous because of his sensitive ties with high-ranking officials in China. And out of respect for that gentleman, that name will probably always stay anonymous. I'm working on the possibility of maybe interviewing that gentleman with a silhouette or something like that, but that might bring the trolls out again as well. Anyway, this is a legit source of somebody who actually had conversations with people. And so it's not just some fabricated story, which is cool if you want to believe that, but it's not conveniently anonymous. And it might make the story seem sketchy and impossible to verify, but the truth is that these sources can be tracked back to a legitimate source. All right, Josie. This is total bullshit. He's promoting a book. There is no proof, no way they removed his body. This is still going with the Sandy Irvin discovered story. It's not, Josie. It's actually, as you just heard in my previous reply to the non-verifiable source, this is not something that is just a story grabbed out of the sky purely to sell books. Now, did Mark Sinnott endeavor to have a new chapter in his book when it went from hardcover to paperback? Absolutely. Again, that's totally cool. I have no problem with that. Did he fabricate a story purely to sell that book? Absolutely not. Mark Sinnott is not unlike Wade Davis, Into the Silence, who backs up his sources and doesn't report on them unless he knows that there's something legitimate to those. So that's all. But the skeptics are the ones who really fuel the fire for people going after trying to find the answers to these. So thank you, Josie. But I mean, that's a little bit harsh, but whatever. I'm used to a lot worse than that. So, okay, so this one's actually hilarious. Was really interested, but only made it to the 8-minute and 34-second mark. Not a storyteller at all. Stick to climbing, bro. I think that's awesome because Mark Sinnott is a New York Times bestselling author and goes on tour with the National Geographic Explorer series and gets paid pretty damn good money to do sold out shows in front of audiences of up to 10,000 people. He actually is as good a storyteller probably as he is a climber, which is hard to say. But anyway, I thought that was a cute comment, so I had to add Carl's in there. Carl, thank you at least for using your real name. Props to you. Okay, so Anthony, thank you. Anthony, geez, Tom spends way too much of my screen time on his own feelings and baggage of his own. What the heck? Like Joe Friday used to say, just the facts. I'll just leave it at that. This isn't what this channel is about. This channel is about a lot more than Everest, and that's cool. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. You use your real name. props to you. I love that. And I understand also why people don't always use their real name, because you don't just, sometimes anonymity is important, or, and it doesn't mean that you're just going to take cheap shots with an anonymous name. It's just a way to kind of not put your thumbprint on everything that you do on the internet, which I understand. But this channel really, while a lot of people are drawn to this channel because of the mystery of Mallory and Irvin and of Mount Everest, what I like to say is that this channel is uses Everest and Mallory and Irvin more than anything as a portal to bring in the idea of conversations of a more important nature, and that is of existence, of working together as a human race, of community, of treating other people with respect and dignity for all people. And so yeah, maybe it might look like baggage, but your judgment is fine. It's not my business what you think of me and what your judgment is of me, but I don't think of it as baggage. What I'm endeavoring to do in some of these is to talk about what the critics are saying in order to answer to them, because it does matter to me. It doesn't, I don't lay awake at night or anything like that, but it does matter to me what people think, at least of these videos, because the main point is because I want this channel to get better. And on to another topic, actually, I did some research on a guy who's a very successful YouTuber, and he talked about how to hone down what your strengths are on YouTube. And I don't see myself as someone who is ever going to make my living on YouTube, but it would supplement my income, or at least be more than just a hobby for the hell of it. Like I do my podcast, and I do actually make a living doing a podcast now, the Tools for Nomads with Top Drawer. But the guy in the video talked about these three concentric circles and how to hone down what topic you should use in your channel in order to make it the most effective. So he talked about passion, proficiency, and profitability, and you name all the things in those three different circles, and the three that overlap the most is the one that might make your channel the most successful. And for me, it kind of came down to Mount Everest and the mystery of Mallory and Irvin. I do get a little bit tired of talking purely about Mount Everest sometimes, but if it works and it brings people together in the community, boom, let's do it, let's move forward. So that's that. Okay, so here's a really classic one, Superfly. And this is the mystery of Mallory and Irvin solved, the discovery of Sandy Irvin video again. I think I can speak for everyone that this is a steaming load of BS. There's no way this wouldn't have made news long ago if someone would have looked at the camera or film. This is stupid beyond belief. You're saying that they found Sandy Irvin and didn't take a photo. None of this makes sense. Maybe the Chinese have Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan too. Maybe Jimmy Hoffa. I think that people believe what they want to believe. And Superfly, I'm having a conversation with someone who calls himself Superfly, which is totally cool, and actually that's a pretty good username if you ask me. But there's a lot of stuff going on behind the doors of China, and I actually think they do have a lot of motivation to not share any information about Mallory or Irvin, or about any discovery of Mallory and Irvin. So I actually think the opposite of it being a steaming load of BS. So that's your opinion. Cool. Okay. But hopefully you watch the video. Hopefully you come back for more. The Lonely Shepherd. Thank you, my friend. You guys need to go on Joe Rogan. Thank you. This is a comment under Did Mallory and Irvin get to the summit? Mark Sinnott makes a comment on whether he thought they made it or not. I got a private text via Facebook from The Lonely Shepherd. I was friends with his dad, who was a great guy, worked with for many years back in the day. And thank you. I did follow through on your request. I truly appreciate it. And I know Joe Rogan does have the occasional Mount Everest guest from time to time. I don't think my strength is just having summited the mountain. Actually, a lot of people have done that, but you never know. Let's wait and see what happens. Okay, so thanks again. Props to you, my friend. Okay, so here Jono is responding to when I had put a post up that was suggesting that I might start a membership, a kind of channel within the channel for people who, if somebody wanted to pay a monthly fee, that they would get special content that was different from the content that just went out to all the people anywhere, and the subscribers as well. And so Jono made just some little bit of a comment that I was in it just for the money. And I thought about that, and that's certainly not true, and suggested that money is the root of all evil. And I don't believe that. I think money in the wrong hands or with the wrong motivation can be evil. But what I did do is I pulled my original idea to do a $3.99 or $4.99 per month membership, and I rearranged it and changed it to the lowest that YouTube will allow a person to charge, and that was 99 cents a month. You can't do less than that. I actually was thinking it would be cool just to do 1 cent per month. That would actually be classic, and just see if people did it. But it's more than anything just to create a community, even a stronger community within a community. And I have some members now, and it's growing, and thank you. And look into it. If you want to do 99 cents, give it a shot. I'm trying to put some special content in there that is of interest. If you don't like it, just demember yourself, and that's disgusting. But unsubscribe from the membership. That's all it takes. You might lose 99 cents. If you want, I'll Venmo you back the 99 cents if you're completely disappointed. But anyway, thank you, Jono. Much love to you. Peace on that, and thank you for making me think it through. Okay, so sorry, Tom. I find it disrespectful when you and other people say that the mystery is better off not solved. Remember that Mallory and Irvin died on their summit attempt. They surely didn't sacrifice their lives just to have people speculating on their attempt forever. The least we can do is to honor their death, is to find Irvin, give him a proper burial, and finally solve the greatest mountaineering mystery. Good call, Freddie. Thank you. I appreciate it. Believe me, the last thing I intend to do is to be disrespectful to George Lee Mallory and Sandy Irvin. That isn't my intent. I have immense respect for them. I feel sadness. I think about them every day. I've thought about both of them many times every single day since the day that I spent next to George Mallory on May 16th, 1999. And I think if I could hearken back to the comment about the mystery being better off unsolved, I don't know if that's exactly what I said. It wouldn't be better off unsolved, but what I'm saying is that in a mystery, it gives rise to people going deep into their heart and asking themselves what the mystery of life is as well. So if it were to go unsolved, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing on the greater picture. Now, on the mystery of Mallory and Irvin, would I love it to be solved? Absolutely, 100%. I would love for it to be solved, and that's why we're all here today. But an unsolved mystery it's kind of like the mystery of life. If we really knew what the mystery of life was all about, and I believe we do, and I've spoken about that in my podcast, The Happiness Quotient, before, what is the meaning of life? It is actually an episode that I've done, and I know it, and I've spoken about it. People just seem to yawn over that one, but when people know when people have solved the mystery of the meaning of life, their life gets a hell of a lot easier and a hell of a lot simpler. God only knows life is hard enough with just dying and sickness and losing love relationships or or a pet dying or losing a job or COVID coming and things like that. But then just to be human and complicating it with all the BS that we affix onto it with our improper judgments and not trusting our own intuition and things like that. God, life is no piece of cake. So maybe I'll put a link to that "Why Do We Exist" podcast episode in here. And if you're so inclined, listen to it. But there is a meaning to life, and it's pretty simple, and it does make things a lot easier. Talking about that, we don't trust our intuition enough, and especially being a man or a boy growing up in today's world, we're taught to be tough and hard and not cry and not be sensitive. But that's actual BS, because we're born with an innate intuition. And as years go on, we become cold and desensitized to it, and stop listening to the true gut instinct that tells us yes or no, or pursue this or stay away from that. And because of that, people make really poor decisions that are based in, I think if I made this decision, it would make her happier, or it would impress this person of import in my life if I did this or that, without, as opposed to going deep within one's heart and asking oneself, does this decision, does this serve my higher good? For some people, God, or source, or from where we came, and where we belong, and where we will go back to as well. So we need to listen to our intuition more. That's a little bit of a tangent. Freddie, thank you for putting me off on a tangent. Freddie, keep coming back. I love you. Oh yeah, this guy Joshua didn't have much love for my video. I gave him thumbs down, but you'll never see that. That's actually mean. I'm gonna actually take those thumbs down away. You didn't go viral because you have proof of absolutely zero. Wow, amazing. And then a minute or two later, so you did not actually find shit. That sound about right? LOL. Then a few minutes later, want viral? Don't spend 10 minutes talking about absolute nonsense and get to the point. I love that. Anyway, I made some comment about Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, and just saying, these are little tidbits of information like deep throat, right? Everybody goes, oh, Pollard, you don't have a source for this idea that Pandua had told this story about a camera and the body, and it's all BS. Well, did Carl Bernstein and Bob Woodward believe Deep Throat, this guy in a garage hidden behind a shadow giving him information about Watergate, that cracked Watergate? I'm saying that there's actual verifiable sources to this. They just remain anonymous. Anyway, the doubters are the ones who keep me happy, because they're hilarious, by the way. This is... I have two sons, man. So I'm used to this kind of crap. This is priceless. Who gives a rat's ass other than this egocentric, rich, white person? Does it change anything? In the longer, greater scheme of things, no, it changes absolutely nothing. I love this comment. I wish that it was somebody's real name. Come on, Tashi, like Tosh 2.0, or this is great. I don't know who does give a rat's ass. A lot of people, 253,000 people have watched the video. Great comment though. Love it. Love the laughing faces. Keep them coming. Come on, Tashi. Then right after, hilarious Bob Scott. That's got to be one boring book. This is Mark Sinnott talking about his book. If you're not in love with The Mystery of Mallory and Irvin or Mount Everest, definitely one boring book. What else can I add to that? I didn't write it. I did read it because I'm in it. That's a reason to read it. So this is kind of a cool one. This is Sean Yancey in one of my earlier reviews of the comments video, and Sean said something. Maybe the fine complainers can hire Nepali porta potty and put up fresh trash bins at 8,200 meters. My interview with Matt Irving, who was the photographer, cameraman for Lakpa Sherpa's historic 10th ascent by a woman this past spring, talked about the weather stations that are near the summit on the north and the south of Everest. And he says they're god awful to look at. And then he posited, or at least I did sometime after, how, well, if they're going to put weather stations up there, they should put porta potties and trash bins. I think that's actually a brilliant idea. And they could hire someone to go back every year to empty it out. So that's actually pretty cool. I love National Geographic. I believe in them, and they've sponsored me and my expedition in 2019. But honestly, the weather station, I don't know if it makes the world a better place. It actually is just permanent, just because it's for science, and I believe in science. Does it make it cool or okay? Maybe there should be a trash bin up there or a porta potty. I would love that. God, what a great shot that would be if somebody sitting taking a dump next to a weather station as the weather comes in, and he could be checking the weather on his InReach GPS app. Oh, God, Everest. Joe Palooka. Cool. Okay, complete nonsense. This is the Wayne Wilcox. Let me move this over. This is the Wayne Wilcox video interview, who was the one who had learned the story about Panduo, having shared the story about the camera and finding Irvin in 1975. And he talked about it being complete nonsense. I'm assuming this is actually Joe's real name. You know, the idea that Wayne Wilcox isn't making any money off of this. This isn't about greed. Actually, Wayne had thought for years about writing a book about it, but just determined ultimately that he wasn't really interested, or did not have the wherewithal to do the story himself, so he gave it away. So it's actually the absence of greed that the story came to light for us, for Mark Sinnott to even talk about. But dude, if someone is making money off this story, it sure as hell ain't me. And Sinnott is sailing the Northwest Passage, and Everest is but a memory. That's the truth. This isn't about making money. It's just about trying to add to the stockpile of information and tidbits of potential facts that might help us build a case to solve the mystery of Mallory and Irvin. That's all. Well, that's all. I thank you so much for being here. I love the negative, positive comments. All of it is just part of this community. I respect all of you, and I'm so happy that you're here. I am going to make it a point to bring together the concentric circles of what makes a successful YouTube channel and try to make it better for you. Continue to suggest story or interview ideas. I'm on it. I've had a lot of suggestions about certain individuals that you think would be interesting to interview. I'm on it. It takes time. I actually have a job and so some of these videos take time, but I'm trying to get some content out to you relatively expeditiously, and hopefully if something really interesting comes up, I can bring it to you quickly. In the meantime, it's still a little gray out today. July has started out to be a spectacular month weather-wise here in New Hampshire of the United States. Tomorrow and the next 7 or 8 days are supposed to be gorgeous. So maybe it's good to have a little downtime where I can let my runny nose and stuffed nose and sore throat and chest play its due course. So thank you. Please subscribe. Please like. Please comment. Please share. And also think about joining the membership. 99 cents a month. I'll give you a shout out. Ooh, that's worth 99 cents. That might not be bad. And if you really hate it and demand a refund, I suppose I could Venmo you back. But people like 22-legged Sasquatch is going to have to let me know his or her email address in order for me to Venmo. So Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Be well. Treat people kindly. Love that we are actually alive and have this incredible opportunity to explore with our creativity and learn from all the varied reactions and experiences that we have on this amazing planet in this realm of duality. I love you. Have a beautiful day. And peace out, my friends.